Hi everyone, today I wanted to make just kind of a follow-up to a video that I'd done earlier, which was on how to create this Kyber crystal containment unit. I thought about re-recording that video, but it really hasn't come off as well as the first time. I'm sorry if that video is a little bit long. Hopefully this one's a little bit easier to see. I've got some new camera equipment. But I just wanted to talk about some additional things that you might be able to do to your Kyber crystal display case. I've actually seen some people make this thing. I've seen pictures of them online, and I've seen some really inspiring, interesting ideas that those folks have integrated into their own crystal display unit. So I wanted to talk a little bit about those things, and I also wanted to talk about some changes that I made. Starting off with the changes that I've made since the video that I posted, I replaced the kind of jeweled stickers here with hex screws. One really important thing is, I don't know the real reason, but supposedly Phillips head screws do not exist in Star Wars. So when I went to fit these in, I had to make sure that I had the exact right size, and I'll put the measurements down in the description. But basically these are just standard screws that I've got screwed in here to the top. Another small change that I made is when I initially approached this project, I didn't know anything about working with LEDs. I didn't really understand how to light this thing or how to make it work in the way that I'd really imagined it being. And so I had to settle on the lighted puck down here at the bottom, which I've since upgraded. I've since gotten a new version of the lighted puck from what you'll see in the earlier video. This lighted puck, as you can see, has its own little remote. You can turn it on and off, you name it. But I wanted to go a step further and learn a little bit about how I could implement LEDs and things like that into my projects moving forward. So that led me to a small embellishment. If I can get this thing threaded on, which is contained up here at the top. You're really not going to be able to see this too well. You'll see it primarily at night, but I learned how to create a simple circuit with a watch battery, some wire, and an on-off switch. So as you see here, if I flick that on, underneath there's a little blue light or a blue LED. What I did was I drilled down through that with a Dremel tool, and I used some hot glue to kind of anchor it in there at the top. I use Kamui, K-A-M-U-I cosplay as my guide on how to accomplish this. It did require some knowledge of soldering, some access to simple tools, and of course a soldering iron. And once I got all those things and I put them together, I was able to add this little implement to it. This was just to really kind of see what I could do with this current display case. I might make a new version and implement my own lighting in that one moving forward. So that's another small change that I made. Let me go ahead and turn that off. As you can see, there's a little switch here. Flip that off, and it's good to go. And it all fits right up there in the top. So that was another small change that I made. All right, so on to all the other cool things that I've seen people doing with this thing. Something that I did not necessarily like was the look when I tried to put my Kyber crystals from Galaxy's Edge in here. Some people have come up with some better ways of maybe implementing the Kyber crystals into this vessel. And so what I've seen is some people are taking this outer sleeve off, and then they're putting a thicker center core piece that runs down the middle. And that thicker center core piece might be a piece of pipe, it could be PVC, you name it. You could paint it, but because it's thicker, it's a little bit more stable, and it doesn't matter as much that this outer sleeve is not on here. Then what those people are doing is they're making much larger holes, which are about the circumference of the Galaxy's Edge Kyber crystals, so that the light can actually come up through the Galaxy's Edge Kyber crystals rather than quartz crystals, as what I've done here. And so they're able to get that light to come up through. I'll see if I can put some examples possibly in this video, so you can see what I'm talking about. Then, just to give it a more finished look, what I've seen at least so far is people were putting little grommets around those so that there's maybe a little bit better seal. And of course, the advantage to that is you can reach in and pull them out should you want to. So some people are, making real changes to this design and making it work maybe a little bit better than I'd foreseen. But it's still completely within the realm of possibility. This is totally something that you could put together yourself with minimal tools and experience. But that has just been a quick overview of some of the changes that you can make, some kind of embellishments. As I said before, if you want to try to tackle implementing your own LEDs, I do recommend that you use the Kamui Cosplay Guide. That is a YouTuber, someone who actually does a lot of LED implementation throughout various costumes and things like that. And they were a tremendous help, and their guide on creating circuits and understanding how LEDs work was instrumental in helping to get that extra embellishment set up. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have fun, and I hope that you're really happy with your own Kyber crystal display case.